So something strange and slightly worrying has happened in the motor trade in the last 6 weeks. Inquiries are flat, customers aren't committing, and it just generally feels like people are nervous. And honestly, sales have collapsed. In today's special episode, we take a deep dive into what's been happening and what we can do as a business to turn things around. So let's roll the intro and let's get going. So if we have a look back to when the issue began, probably talking mid-April. Now, I'd taken some time out of the business and I came back to Car Quay in the middle of April, and we'd done okay for the first part of the month. Not brilliant, but we'd certainly done okay. We were tracking to have a fairly decent month. But then things did start to slow down a little bit. And I can notice this through my buying habits, because consistently I'm out buying cars every week. And when you're out buying cars every week and you're noticing the stock is growing, that again is a barometer of the fact that, hold on a second, you're buying the usual amount of cars, yet the stock's growing, which means we're not selling enough and not getting enough cars out. Okay, so we got through April. We carried a lot of business into April, which meant April ended okay. We make profit in April, which is fine, but we did hope that the trend would be reversed somewhat. And then we really started feeling it. We were getting less phone calls. The phone in this business just rings constantly. And it just seemed that the only calls we were getting, or the vast majority of the calls we were getting, from people either trying to sell us Japanese imports, renew our energy bills, offering to redo our website, or worst of all, moaning and complaining and screaming about vehicles they'd bought that had faltered. The WhatsApp wasn't lit up. Again, we got WhatsApp as a way of customers inquiring with us as a business. The WhatsApps weren't coming through. Usually we can come in the morning to 3, 4, 5, 6 conversations from people engaging with us on cars. We didn't really see many of those. Visitor chat, another way that customers can get in touch, which is via the website, a little chat bot which talks to you. The company who do it for us say it's not a bot, it's definitely a human being. I'm a bit skeptical, but anyway, we weren't getting a load of those. And again, physical people walking onto the site, the number of bodies turning up at the business, again, has seemed to drop fairly dramatically. Now, we did get some customers, don't get me wrong, and we still have got some customers coming through. However, the customers that we are getting seem to be hard work. Now, we don't expect it to be easy in this industry, and it never is easy. I mean, the only time it ever was easy was in the pandemic, when you literally were fighting customers off and customers were battling amongst themselves to try and buy a car, which were the greatest of times. But again, we're well past that era now. So we don't expect it to be easy. We do know you've got to dig in a little bit. But as I say, the customers that we have had have genuinely been hard work. So a lot of the customers seem to be indecisive. They can't seem to make their mind up. We're hearing a lot at the minute, we need to go and think about it. We're probing, well, what is it you want to think about? Is there something we can help with? Again, the answer remains the same. It's like, we just want to have a think about it. Again, every excuse under the sun. And we're not moaning here. We understand that customers sometimes feel awkward about saying the true reason why they don't want to buy something, or if they're just not happy. But there genuinely seems to be a lot of indecisiveness about at the minute, which is converting those limited inquiries we're having into physical sales. Also finding we're getting lots of silly offers at the minute, which again is frustrating. So we get a lead on a car, the car's really nice, it's priced really well to market, it looks right, it's great, the advert's right, everything's perfect, but then the customer will try and offer you £1,000, £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 less than what the car's advertised at. And again, there is a myth and a preconception, we believe, with certain customers, that we put thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds worth of profit margin across our cars. Yes, we do put profit margin across our cars because we have to, because the costs associated with running a car dealership are extremely high. We have discussed this before. In addition to that, preparation costs are getting higher and higher and higher and higher, especially with the nature of vehicles that we sell here at Car Quay, which is often slightly older, higher prestige vehicles and a lot of Land Rover, Jaguar stuff, which again often needs a bit more preparation. So again, some of the inquiries we're just getting volleyed right in the balls on price, and you then try not to get offended. Should never get offended when someone makes you a low ball offer, but it's just unrealistic, and it's difficult sometimes to then treat that inquiry seriously, because if someone's offered you a figure £3,000 less than it's on at, immediately your back's up a little bit and you feel like you don't want to take the inquiry seriously. So we're finding that a lot at the minute, a lot of lowballing. On the other side is customers with part exchanges. Again, at the minute, when it goes quieter and it feels a bit tougher, their expectations of what their part exchange is worth is completely disproportionate to reality. We're finding a lot of people at the minute are trying to trade cars in, and the figure they're looking to achieve for the part exchange is higher than what that car would retail for on our own forecourt, which is, again, I'm sure you probably appreciate, makes it very challenging. And then when you can't come to a point with a figure, they say, well, I'll sell it privately, or I'm going to go to WeBuy, I'm going to go to Motorway, or I'm going to put it on Car Quay. It's fine, but you know they're never going to get the figure that they're looking for. And frustratingly, despite the fact we'll follow that customer up, if we are the first dealership that has to educate them and tell them the reality of what their car's worth, and they genuinely are looking to change, they may end up buying from another dealer because we gave them the bad news, and maybe in some respects they feel embarrassed to come back because they said, I want 10, the car's worth 6. They might then take 6 or 7 from another garage, but pride stops them coming back to us and taking the 6 because, again, people are just how they are. It's just human nature. People feel, I don't know, sometimes a bit embarrassed or whatever. We'll never make them feel that way. But again, it's frustrating if you're the educator and you tell someone what the car's worth, because then they may just go and trade it in somewhere else after they've had the bad news from us. We're also finding with finance applications, people are putting applications through, we're getting people approved, and then we're going back to speak to them and they disappear into thin air. Or the third-party finance providers are sending customers to us. We're doing the usual process. We're getting the car ready. We're getting the invoice request process. We're arranging a day for them to pick up. And then these customers, again, are absolutely vanishing into the ether. We feel like sending search parties out. We'll make sure they're okay. We're worried about these customers. They're applying for finance and then they're disappearing off the face of the earth. Where are they going? We don't know. So, but yeah, it's a challenge at the minute. So the customers we are getting are hard work. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why we think the trade and the inquiries and ultimately the sales have slowed down. Well, at the minute, unless you've been living under a rock, you won't realise that fuel prices have increased in the last few months by 20 to 30%. Fuel is important for cars. Without fuel, you don't get to drive your cars, unless it's an EV, which we'll touch on in a minute, but fuel prices have increased dramatically. Now, as a business at Car Quay, we do sell some EVs, but predominantly we're selling larger engine vehicles, petrols, diesels, turbos, V8s, V6s, V12s, anything with a big engine, loads of exhaust pipes, and perhaps not the most economical vehicles in the world are being affected by rising fuel prices. There's also not one, but 2 wars going on at the minute globally. We've still got Russia and Ukraine duking it out over in Europe. We've also got the issue in Iran, which again is affecting the cost of fuel. So globally, the economy is probably feeling an element of uncertainty at the minute, and it's understandable why. There's also political uncertainty right here in the UK. Our current Prime Minister is currently on shaky ground. Looks like there's going to be a new leadership contest. The elections have come in for local councils. The people are revolting, not literally revolting. I like the people, but they are revolting, it seems, against the traditional political class. So there's all sorts of uncertainty. And I genuinely believe that when there is uncertainty, it affects people on a subconscious level in terms of making big decisions. And buying a car is not a simple decision. It's the second biggest purchase a customer will ever make after buying a house. So is it any wonder that car sales are down? And let's also not forget, we've not just had one, but we've had 2 bank holidays this month. And look at the weather. It is absolutely glorious. Couple that with half term, people enjoying the sun, having time off with friends and families. Is buying a car going to be right up on their list of priorities at the minute. I certainly think, given the choice of spending some time in the garden, at the pub, with friends and family, that would probably take priority over buying a new car. So how are our friends in the industry finding the job at the minute as well? Well, again, we all seem to be having a tough time. Anyone I speak to, the units are down, sales are down, confidence is down. It's not just a Car Quay problem. It seems to be an industry-wide problem. However, that said, we do know people who are still selling cars, still making a success, still turning their stock. They're certainly turning the cars faster than we are, and most importantly, they are still making profit. It's very easy to join a pity party where we can all sit, bitch, moan, complain and say, yeah, the job's on its arse, it's not very good, but that's certainly not going to help, and it's certainly not going to sell us any cars. So we can't control what's happening in the outside world. We just can't. There's nothing we can do about it. But we can control what we do here at Car Quay. Where are we letting ourselves down? What can we do better? It's time for us to take a big, hard, strong look in the mirror and then work out what we're going to do from here. Come on. So the showroom itself has been closed for like 4 weeks. It's made things hard work for customers, hard work for the staff, for the team, and that's definitely going to have had a negative effect on sales. However, have a look at the floor, have a look at the showroom. It's getting leveled up, and this is hopefully going to pay dividends in the days, weeks, months and years to come. We've been massively behind on photos of our cars. If you look at the vehicles on the website, they've just not got enough pictures. There's a lot of auction photos, pictures from customers' drives. We're not presenting the cars to the best of our ability. If you have a look up, this is where we used to photograph our cars, and I'll just take you to where we're now photographing cars. This is where we're now taking photos. If we just have a little lap, it's not ideal. This is a pub car park with the backing of a local business. No parking signs, litter, rubbish, the outside elements. It's not ideal. However, we've got a solution for this. Our new photo booth is nearly ready. Once this is up and running, we're going to be able to take 100 high quality, beautiful images of all of our cars. We've got a new starter starting soon, whose job will be to take photos of all the quality cars we have. In addition to that, we're going to be taking videos of all the vehicles, walk around videos, in-depth videos, loads of videos. It's all about the videos. We're going to do them in here. The floor's getting done. The wall's started, look. There's the background. The sides are getting done. Spin it round, look in that direction as well. We're even getting this wall done. And check this out. We've even got a door. I don't want to break that wire. We've even got a door for there. Another issue we've got is adverts. And ultimately, that's on me. We've got a colossal amount of stock that's not advertised. How are customers meant to know about these cars unless they're on the internet? They quite simply don't. It was pointless me buying all of those cars because I've not advertised them. So again, I need to take a look at myself. I need to get these cars on the day I buy them, advertise quickly, online, on the website, on Auto Trader, on the sister sites. And once they're on there, we've got a better chance of selling them. I have to ask myself the question, how many orders would we have taken on these cars if these cars were already advertised? Who knows? But that's on me. Pricing is also key. If there's one thing I'm guilty of at times, it's not checking the prices as often as I should do. The market is fluctuating daily. If it's slow out there, our competitors are going to be moving the prices. They're going to be adjusting those prices down. And that's going to mean that our prices are going to remain higher and look expensive. So I need to jump online, check the prices, check the market, use the tools that we've got available, and make sure our cars are not only the best used vehicles in the market, but also some of the best value for money. And it's not just about the display, the photos, the adverts, or the pricing. Most importantly, we need to make sure we're doing daily, hourly, if not minute by minute, vibe checks to make sure the vibes are high on site. We need to make sure the fruit bowl is full of tasty fruit for the team at all times. Fantastic performance in the business is rewarded with the Car Quay title. That there's confectionery on site, ready for the team when they need that sugar hit, when energy's low so they can get going again. But when the team are up against it, they're battling, but I'm here to support them and lift them. Come on! Good vibes generates good sales. The vibes are up, the deals are up, so we've got to make sure everybody's revved 24/7 in the business, and that comes back on me. So do you know what? Yes, it's flat. Yes, it's quiet. Yes, people are nervous. But do you know what? What can we do about it? We can improve, we can get better, we can level the site up, we can do the job to the very best of our abilities, because do you know what? People are always going to need cars. We just need to get better. We just need to improve. But most of all, we just need to remember that it's not that serious. It's only a few cars and the deals are going to come flying back in. We need to enjoy ourselves every day. And if you're in the trade and you're watching this, it's the same. Don't panic, don't stress out. Have a look at what you're doing, see what you can do better. And remember, the punters are going to come knocking, phones are going to start ringing again, the emails are going to come flying in. We can do this. Come on.